My name is Isabella, and I am 32 years old. I live in a small, quiet town near the mountains in the United States, a place where the winters are cold, the trees are tall and green, and the people are kind in the way only small-town folks know how to be. I used to think my life was perfect, married young to the love of my life, Daniel, who was 10 years older than me but made me feel safe and cherished in a way I never questioned. We got married when I was 21, in a small wooden church by the lake. I wore a pale blue dress, he wore a white shirt and dark pants, and my mother cried happy tears while his father gifted us a little house that became the heart of everything. Daniel was a carpenter, with strong hands and a soft heart, and our days were filled with laughter, sawdust, the sound of children's footsteps, and the quiet joys of family. We had our son Leo 2 years later, quiet, thoughtful, with Daniel's eyes, and then Maya, our spirited daughter with my smile and her father's strong grip. Life was noisy and beautiful. Daniel would often say, "You should learn the business too, Isabella, just in case." And I would help with orders, bills, and talking to customers, not knowing how prophetic those words would become. Then, one winter night, during a dinner celebration with neighbors for a job Daniel had just finished for the town school, he sat down on the couch, wiped his brow, and said his chest hurt. Seconds later, he was gone. Just like that. My world collapsed. I screamed, held his hands, begged him to come back, but Daniel's heart had stopped, and nothing could bring him back. The funeral passed in a blur, and suddenly I was a widow with 2 children. Leo, 9, who became silent and withdrawn, and Maya, 7, who cried every night. I could barely get out of bed until one night Maya touched my hand and whispered, "Please don't leave us too." That small voice shook something inside me, and I got up the next morning and made toast and eggs. It was a beginning. I slowly took back the reins of life, cleaning, helping Leo with schoolwork, and walking into Daniel's cold, dusty workshop, where the chair he had started still stood. I touched the wood, cried, then found a notebook with all his notes, clients, measurements, prices. I decided to try. I made mistakes. I cried more, but I kept trying. Then one day I found a letter in his drawer addressed to me. In it, Daniel wrote, "If you are reading this, I am not with you anymore. But please don't cry too much. You are stronger than you think. Life is still beautiful. You just have to look for the light again." I held it to my heart and began living with those words in my pocket. One day, while walking through town, I saw a sign for an embroidery class at the community center. I didn't know why, but I went. Grace, the teacher, welcomed me with warmth. The room smelled like fresh flowers and soap, and I learned how to hold a needle and thread again, not just in sewing, but in life. Every Thursday, I stitched, listened, and slowly began to feel like a person again. That's where I met Eli, Grace's nephew, 29, a landscaper with blue eyes and gentle hands who fixed the shelves and quietly fixed pieces of my broken heart too. He asked me to coffee once, not pressuring, just kind. I told him about Daniel, the kids, my grief. He didn't interrupt, he just listened. He told me he lost his dad when he was 15 and understood that pain takes time. He never rushed me, never tried to take Daniel's place. He just showed up, helped fix things, brought Maya a flower pot with her name on it, and taught Leo how to fix a toy car. Slowly, he became part of our days, walking with me to the market, laughing with the kids, joining us at the park. One day I asked him, "Do you ever feel guilty for smiling again?" And he said, "Yes, but someone told me once that love doesn't end. It just changes shape." Those words stayed with me. Months passed. I invited him for dinner. Maya hugged him. Leo said, "Okay." After dinner, I told Eli I didn't know what the future held, and he said, "Let's find out together." I still missed Daniel. I cried some nights when no one could hear, but the laughter was returning, slowly. One night, Maya asked, "Do you love Eli?" And I said, "I don't know, but I care about him a lot." She smiled. "He makes you smile." Leo said, "He's not Dad, but he's nice. And Dad would want you to be happy." I walked to the bridge where Daniel and I used to take the kids when they were babies. I stood there under the stars and whispered, "Daniel, I still miss you every day. But the kids are happy. There's someone who brings peace into our home. He's not you, but he's kind. I think you would want this for us." The wind touched my cheek like an answer. One evening, Eli came with a small box. It held a silver key. "It's to my house," he said. "I'm not rushing anything, just if you ever want it." I held it and asked, "What if I want you to move in with us instead?" He smiled. "That would make me happy." A month later, he did. We didn't make it a big deal. He brought books, plants, his guitar. The house felt fuller, warmer. Some nights he played music. Maya danced. Leo tapped along with a pencil. One night, Maya asked, "Will you and Eli get married?" And Leo said, "But you were married to Dad." I replied, "Yes, and I loved him very much, but it's okay to love again." Leo said, "Dad would want you to be happy." I kissed his head. "I think so too." I still talk to Daniel sometimes, not out loud, but in my heart. When I hear a song he loved, when I walk past the lake, when Leo smiles just like him, he's still here, in how we live, in how I keep going.